Welcome on board to the Meta Instinct channel. Critical hit is one of the crucial factors in winning the battle, but many players don't know how to optimize them. This video will cover the critical strike in detail and share exciting news about Packsify. Fundamental. Critical rate, damage, and resistance are three distinct attributes. Critical rate determines the likelihood of an attack being a critical hit. A higher rate means more frequent critical hits. Critical damage refers to the additional damage dealt when an attack is a critical hit. The base critical damage is 50%. Increasing critical damage allows for dealing more damage during a critical hit. Critical resistance reduces incoming critical damage. It has no effect if the attack isn't a critical hit. Critical rate and damage are offensive attributes, while critical resistance is a defensive attribute. When building an offensive fleet, optimizing critical rate and damage is essential. On the other hand, a defensive fleet with armor and critical resistance optimization could be helpful for high spenders but may not be suitable for low spenders. Sacrificing offense for defense makes it harder to be defeated but can also make it challenging to defeat opponents. In this case, it's essential to compensate for the lack of damage, for example, by using items such as the Demise Proclamation, which increases the ship's critical rate by up to 36%. This trinket significantly boosts offensive power. We can get it slowly with free imconks or purchase them from the bundles. The good news is that thanks to Packsify, sponsor of this video, you can always get up to a 28% discount on any bundle. Packsify has a Discord community with over 10,000 members that saved players over $4.1 million over the last 3 years. Now, they're launching an app that makes getting discounts effortless. Join the waiting list to enjoy exclusive bonuses, including early bird discounts ranging from 10 to 35% and an additional 15% discount for the first 2 weeks. Test the app with 500 free credits, with no credit card required. Grant early access to the app 7 days before the public release. Discord giveaways boost, double the chances of winning big giveaways in May and June via the Packsify Discord server. Over 2,000 players joined already. Secure your spot before it's too late, and enjoy effortless discounts and bonuses from day one. Best build? Have you ever watched countless best build guides from the internet and found them useless? It's essential not to take others' words as gospel, as everyone's situation may differ. It's essential to be creative, grasp the concept, and create the best build for your circumstances. Since switching from a defensive build to an offensive one, we can now defeat 99% of players with similar CP and even some with higher CP. This success was not achievable when we used a low-budget defensive build. Thus, we will move on with the offensive build until we find a better solution. Rate versus damage. We can't say that critical damage is more crucial than critical rate because they are not directly comparable. The best strategy is to find the optimal combination of critical rate and critical damage. Some simple calculations illustrate this. Let's assume the damage is 1 million, and the number of attacks is 100. Now, we have two figureheads, one providing a 31.25% critical rate and the other providing 62.5% critical damage. To determine which is better, we can equip them and calculate the average damage. In the first example, critical damage is more effective than critical rate, producing higher average damage. However, in the second example, the critical rate is better. But why are the results different? This is because their performance depends on each other. We must compare the results and use the best one. The good news is we don't need to go through the complicated calculations as above. We can quickly determine the answer by multiplying the rate by the damage. Choose the one that produces the highest value. Meanwhile, if the critical rate is 100%, you should deal with a critical hit in every attack. Critical rate beyond 100% is unnecessary because it makes no difference. Critical sources. There are several ways to increase critical rate and damage in the game. Some of them are fixed and cannot be chosen, such as the critical rate provided by the guild bonus, the 50% base critical damage, the critical rate from cannon and sail, the critical damage from helm and figurehead's fifth attribute, and the critical rate from the incidents. We can also increase critical rate, damage, and resistance through the ship's general skills, such as large caliber broadsides, deadly broadsides, and last stand. The skill replacement feature allows us to obtain one for the built ships. Additionally, the first attribute of the figurehead can give either a critical rate, critical damage, or critical resistance. The critical rate to critical damage ratio in figurehead is 1 to 2. In S2, the specialization strength system will provide a critical rate and critical damage bonus from the red gem. A level 20 red gem provides either a 6.3% critical rate or 14.7% critical damage, with a ratio of 1 to 2.3. Compared to the figurehead, the red gem will provide more critical damage. Therefore, it is advisable to optimize critical damage on red gems, not the critical rate. If you don't have red gems with critical damage, you can try your luck on the gang raids and squad raids. Moreover, we can obtain up to 36% critical rate from the Demise Proclamation trinket. This trinket is extremely useful because its first bonus provides a critical rate bonus rather than a specific damage bonus, such as blazing damage. Regardless of the damage type, it can be equipped on the captain hero on every ship. Although we might miss the last effect that delivers a cutthroat damage bonus after a kill, it doesn't matter much. Remember, to optimize your critical combo, multiply the critical rate and damage and choose the combinations with the highest values. Alright, this is the end of today's sharing. Please subscribe and stay tuned. I'm Alan from Meta Instincts. See you soon.